Mexican fans should be absolutely furious of this from this game. I need to sit down, have a nice cup of tea, a nice big sofa chair, have a conversation with Juan Carlos Osorio, because his tinkering of the lineups today almost cost Mexico this match. Mexico did not win this game because of Juan Carlos Osorio. They won this game in spite of Juan Carlos Osorio. And they won this game due to the actions of two players, Javier Aquino and Chris Wood. So, going to this match, Juan Carlos Osorio made 8 changes to the lineups, and he did this for 2 reasons. I know why he did this. He did this, one, because he wanted to test out a Mexican reserve team against the weakest opposition in this group, so as to get an idea of what would be the strongest lineup possible in the next game against Russia. And he did it also to give some of the younger players on his team, like Jürgen Damm, an opportunity to prove themselves in a major tournament. Basically, he was trying to take a page out of German manager Joachim Löw. Well, it almost backfired. And arguably, it should have backfired. Because Mexico came out in the first half. They were the better team. But you just don't take major risks like this against any opposition in a major tournament. You say, well, it worked for Germany against Australia. But if you actually watch that match, it almost backfired on Joachim Löw, too. This is why I made a video a little while ago, several weeks ago, saying that experimenting with reserve squads in major tournaments is usually a bad idea. It's almost certainly a bad idea. Even if you win the match, it's a bad idea. Because in a group like this, you absolutely cannot underestimate any opponent. And for most of the first half, Mexico, and particularly Osorio, underestimated New Zealand. And honestly, him tinkering with the lineup the way that he did, changing so many players, forget 2 or 3 subs from the Portugal game. He changed 8 of his starting 11. That's disrespectful to New Zealand. When you go into this game with a sense of complacency that you can rest up most of your squad and expect to get a result against lesser opposition, you're indirectly, maybe even unintentionally, disrespecting your opponent. And I'm worried now for Mexico. Why am I worried for Mexico now? Because, despite all that, they won this game. And I'm worried that Osorio is not going to get the message. He'll interpret this. He'll interpret this as tinkering with the lineups works, and he's known for tinkering with Mexico's lineups all the time. He'll get the impression that it works. He'll do the same thing against Russia, and Mexico will lose. That's my worry. Because if he does the same thing against Russia, Russia will beat them. Russia will beat them. Russia will beat them. Russia will beat them. So, in my opinion, it would have sent a clearer message if Mexico had dropped points in this game, if they had finished with the draw, or especially even so if New Zealand had won this match. Because the criticism that would have followed Osorio from this game, oh my God, it would be all over the place. The Mexican press would hammer this guy. At the end of the day, though, I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he's going to make as many changes in the Russia game as he did today. That would be absolutely stupid if he did. And I think Mexico will probably do just about enough to get out of this group. Because when you look at the standings now, ironically, given how Mexico played in the first half, they're on top of the group right now. They're on top of the group with greater number of goals scored over Portugal. They're both on 4 points. Portugal with 3 goals scored. Mexico with 4. Same goal difference, but the tiebreaker is number of goals scored. So Mexico is still in with a great opportunity, I think, to win this group if they beat Russia. And provided that Portugal doesn't run up the tally on New Zealand, which is no guarantee because we've seen how Portugal performs in tournaments against lesser opposition. For all we know, Portugal could beat New Zealand next week 1-0. But I'm not going to get into that. He got lucky today. Osorio should be counting his stars, thanking God that they didn't lose this match, because you saw for New Zealand, they came out in this game, they put in a better performance than their opening match against Russia. They needed to, otherwise if they lost this game, they would have been eliminated. I thought attacking-wise, they were much more smarter. They were more of a threat than they were when they were on the back foot against Russia in the first match of this group. But honestly, Chris Wood, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You have 3 or 4 opportunities, right? 2 or 3 of those, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, with Talavera. You have to put them away. You have to put them away. His finishing today was absolutely atrocious. It was garbage. And when Mexico got that equalizer, not even a full minute before Mexico tied this game at 1-1, Chris Wood was in with a one-on-one with Talavera. A great opportunity to go ahead 2-0. And if they go ahead 2-0, that changes the entire dynamic of the game. And I don't think Mexico would have come back from that. But really, I think he was one of 2 men today that saved Mexico. The other, like I said, being Javier Aquino. He made that wonderful assist to Uribe Peralta. And without his presence on the field, without him coming on, I think this game probably would have ended in a draw. But you combine Mexico's equalizer with the fact that Chris Wood just couldn't put away his chances. And again, I keep putting emphasis on putting away your chances. If you don't put away your chances, not only are you depriving yourself of an opportunity to get the maximum result from this match that you're in, you're allowing your opponent to come back into the game. Could have went ahead 2-0. Could have went ahead 2-0, allowed Mexico to come back into this match, and then we all know what happened from there. But for Osorio, stop, please. Please stop. Even as a neutral, even as someone that's not particularly feels one way or another about the Mexican national team, stop. Because if you do this against Russia, a team that's better than New Zealand, I just don't see how you come out of that. I don't see how you advance out of this group. So, Mexican fans, they got the win today. They grinded out this result. They got the 3 points at the end of the day. That's the main thing that matters. It's not the only thing that matters, but it's the main thing that matters. They're on top of the group now through number of goals scored. And they only need a draw against Russia. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in that match. Before, I thought Russia had absolutely no chance. No chance of beating Mexico. Now I don't know. Because Mexico, your manager's retarded. He seems retarded. Ultimately, though, you're going to advance. You're going to advance. I just don't see Russia beating you. But I'm not so confident now that Mexico will win that match. Maybe that'll be a draw, but you don't really need it now.